Hey everyone, I'm Victor Dwyer, and today I'm going to create an Amazon 101 course of just everything navigation wise on how to use Amazon, where to find everything, because everything is so scattered around and so hard to find every single thing. So I'm going to go through and just kind of create an overview video on how to navigate that. So let's dive right in. So this is what we're going to call Amazon Seller Central. So there's Vendor Central and Seller Central. So Vendor Central is where like you basically sell under the vendor, you sell under Amazon.com is what it looks like. So when you go to a seller and it says Amazon.com, that's Vendor Central, and it's I don't recommend it. It sucks being a Vendor Central. Just don't do it. And then when it comes to Seller Central, this is what we're going to be diving in today. This is what something you'll look like when you log in. This account won't have any data in it, but it'll be a way to kind of go through the navigation at least. It has upgraded a lot since the beginning steps, so I'm going to go through that. So if you're wanting to add products, you would just go here. It's really important that you have some type of UPC in place to start that process. Amazon requires a GTIN, so you have to get it from I forgot the company name on top of my head, but you'll need to make sure you have a GTIN UPC code, because it's got to be like 100% compliant. Make sure you have a UPC code tied to your products, and then you'll be able to go from there. Cool. So that's going to be how you add a product to Amazon, and eventually you're going to need to upload your main images and all that good jazz. I highly recommend putting in back in keywords. And we'll go through like a listing optimization video eventually, but I'm not going to go through with it. This is more navigation on how to navigate each thing from there. So then once we go to manage inventory, this is how you're going to be able to kind of go through your inventory process. If you send in your inventory to FBA, means fulfilled by Amazon, to the Amazon fulfillment centers, you will have to have an FNSKU barcode sticker on top of your UPC barcode. So just keep that in mind when you make your products. That you can sell everything under FBM. You just have to link it to some type of usually provider of what you're currently selling your products under. So this could be ShipBob, ShipStation, like all these other like providers, and you can actually just link it to your wherever your warehouse is currently, and you can do it through what's called FBM, fulfilled by merchant. So you can actually sell both. You just have to have a separate SKU on two different ASINs. It's very easy to do. All you have to do is like you'll just click duplicate, and you'll be able to duplicate your. There's what you call an ASIN. An ASIN is an Amazon serial identification number, and from there you'll be able to. You won't be able to change that ASIN. That ASIN will practically never change. But you can change the SKU right here, which is your like inventory identification number, and you can put as many SKUs on one ASIN as you want. So you can have an FBA, meaning a fulfilled by Amazon SKU that will link inventory that way, and you can have an FBM SKU which goes from your warehouses all on the same listing. So basically, your listing will never run out of inventory, and that's what you want. I highly recommend having inventory in FBA and FBM because that's going to make your life easier, because the shipping times to shipping to Amazon is taking 3 weeks, 4 weeks, 5 weeks sometimes, and having a backup inventory in FBM. So once FBA goes out of stock, FBM will naturally just kick in. So keep that in mind. Highly recommend having an FBM strategy in place. So that's where you can like keep track of inventory, making sure you're not out of stock. You'll be able to see what's in stock, where it is. You'll be able to click on like a little arrow right here, and you'll be able to see what's inbound, what's not inbound, and you'll be able to go through all that. And eventually, if you want to edit anything in your listing, you'll be able to press edit in this right hand column right here, and you'll be able to really edit the images. You'll be able to edit the content within your listing. But keep in mind, Amazon does not make the changes the first time. Most likely not. Content changes are getting harder and harder to push through. So say if you misspell something in your title the first time, it's very difficult to change later, because you have to think this is a recommendation you're making to Amazon. This is not you're not submitting a change, you're recommending a change. So there's a difference. So that's how Amazon does it, and sometimes requesting a change on content is very, very difficult. Keep that in mind. And it's very important that there is content tiers. So there's a thing called brand registry within Amazon. I highly recommend, if you have a trademark, be brand registered, and you have to go through that brand registry process. Just type in on Google Amazon brand registry, and you'll be able to sign up through that brand registry process. So you can have a pending trademark, and then from there I would have that pending trademark and sign up for brand registry as soon as possible. From there, once you have brand registry, you have more leverage. You can do sponsor brand video. You have a few more features, and when it comes to content changes, you're able to push that a little bit further. If you are constantly trying to update your images or update your content and it's still not being pushed through, you can either submit it and keep submitting it through this edit option. Either that, or you can make an Amazon support case. So you can go to Amazon support by actually going in the top right here, and then go to where is it? Help. Go to Amazon Help, describe your issue, and eventually you'll be able to go through all this good jazz. And if you want, you can literally just put help, and then you can just keep going down the. Oh wow, you can't even do that anymore. But basically, just describe your issue, and if you're trying to make a case, you can eventually talk to seller support. It's getting more and more difficult to talk to seller support, so keep that in mind. That's what you're gonna have to deal with this on a daily basis, most likely, because Amazon sucks, and like these are issues that are gonna constantly be coming up. Like for example, Amazon had a pesticide issue that there was a client that said an elbow guard that molded to your elbow, and Amazon's automated algorithm said, "Oh, mold? That is a pesticide." So we had to submit a bunch of cases, and their product got suspended because they thought it was a pesticide and it was an elbow guard. Like, these are things that Amazon does just naturally. So keep that in mind. Amazon sucks to deal with, so it's not fun, believe me. And you can do like inventory planning, if you're like doing that, like forecasting and things like that. If you want to get really advanced forecasting, you can use like tools like SoStock if inventory is a huge problem for you. And then if you want to track your FBA shipments, you can do that here. Keep in mind it's going to take about 4 or 5 weeks to do that. And then if you want to look at pricing, if you're just constantly looking at that, I almost never use these things. I almost never use any of those. And then if you want to track your orders, I don't know why you would need to, but like it's really important, especially if you're doing FBM. It's really important that you fulfill your orders. Like if there is ever an integration error within your FBM fulfilled by merchant, for example, let's say you say in Amazon that you have 10 units in stock left, but you seriously have 0, and then let's say all 10 of those orders go through, you're screwed. It's like really, really bad. Amazon will basically say, hey, we're about to deactivate your account, meaning like we're about to suspend your account, because if you are shipping orders, if you say you can ship orders and you seriously cannot ship your orders, Amazon will like go in the process of shutting you down because they're very, very serious about late shipments and late orders. So please make sure your integration with whatever software you're working with your warehouse doesn't break. That happens all the time. Keep that in mind. Your software will break at one point. I haven't had a single software that hasn't broken at one time. Yeah, not a single one. Even like $1 billion softwares, like they all break at one point because Amazon will change something and they'll break the software, which makes all your orders that should go through automatically don't go through, and then you get these late shipment notices that Amazon's about to shut you down, and you have to process them manually, and it's a horrible nightmare. Happens all the time. Not even joking either. So I recommend using a very prominent 3PL or a very prominent software for whatever you use FBM, because they're going to be able to change that a lot faster, and they're going to be used to those changes. I've had clients that use smaller 3PLs, and it's a nightmare because they take weeks to change, like to adapt to the Amazon API updates, and it's horrible. I don't even want to talk about that. It's horrible. Okay, so that's FBM. So please make sure you get that right. And then this is advertising. This is all the fun stuff. This is where once you start getting into Amazon advertising, you can start creating campaigns. Um, and this is where you can really start promoting everything on the ad side. So it's very easy to create your first campaign. Basically, if we're going to be talking about Amazon, I'm just going to go to Amazon.com and I'm just going to type in dog toys. So this is everything just on the Amazon advertising side. So you remember how I said sponsor or that brand registry having that trademark is going to give you more things that you can do. This is one of them. This is a sponsored brand headline. You'll be able to do this once you're brand registered. This is a sponsored product placement right here, meaning that you'll be able. These are the most simple things to set up. They just look like They look like an organic post, but if they say sponsored, someone paid to be here. Usually this ranges between about $2 to $5. This dog toys is really competitive, so it's probably around $7 or $8. But per click, you pay on a per click basis on the advertising, and then you can get real fancy and do sponsor brand videos. These have a very high conversion rate. Highly recommend these if you can do this. And then if you want to get editorial recommendations, you can get fancier. It takes some time to get these, but you can use that too. And then from there, that's kind of like the overview of the advertising things that you can launch on the back end. So create your first campaigns, try out spots, try out different keywords. If you're doing keyword research to find what keywords are the best ones, I recommend using a tool called Helium 10, Helium 10 Cerebro. It's like Helium 10 has a bunch of tools that you can use within it, but Helium 10 has a sub tool called Cerebro, which you'll be able to go through and you'll actually be able to do the keyword research that you'll be able to type in a competitive ASIN here, and it will actually pull all the keywords that you want to grab from that particular thing. So when you're doing keyword research of keywords to put on the back end, keywords to put on Amazon advertising, and everything else, that's how I would approach it by using Helium 10. It's an expensive software. Like if just shoot me a message and saying, hey Victor, I can't afford the software, and I'll give you access to my account. It's like not even that big of a deal. So cool. And then from there, where were we? Okay, advertising. So yeah, that's advertising. So nothing fancy there. Cool. And then there's A plus content. A plus content will increase your conversion rate on average by 5%. So I highly recommend having some type of A plus content on the bottom. So you must be brand registered to get A plus content. So make sure you're brand registered first, but this will on average increase your conversion rate by 5%. So this is a normal Amazon product page that we have here. And wow, they actually don't have any A plus content. Dang. Okay. But basically you see how these are the what they're doing here. This is the best practices on what you should do on Amazon. So it's really important to use all the space that you get on your main image. It's important to have some type of text of saying what makes your product special, what makes you unique, and having some type of text and infographics on your listing. Very important. Making sure you're using all your keywords within your title. Titles are very important. Bullet points I don't care much about anymore. Personally, you can keyword stuff and do whatever you want in bullet points. I don't personally care about this. And then when you're filling out the information about your product, it's really important. These are knowledge fields that you're going to want to fill out, that you can actually fill out on the back end, that are really important to fill, because you'll get certain things like this that will also populate. So when you're filling in the keywords on the back, or when you're editing the product information, I would recommend filling things like this in on the back end, so that way that Amazon can target your customers a little bit better. So just keep that in mind. Let me see if I can find an example of A plus content for you. This is an example. This is a really bad example, but this is an example. So you see how right here under product description it says like has all these images here. This is a way you can basically customize it, customize and really tell your story through this A plus content, and you'll be able to show all that through this. So here, that's some cool stuff there. And if you're wanting to see how many sales, there's actually a really cool Chrome extension that Helium 10 has. It's called X-Ray. So I'll actually be able to go through that in a second. So basically, this is Helium 10's Chrome extension. This is for the same keyword, dog toys, and you'll be able to see this is sponsored. SP means sponsored, and you'll be able to see the sales, how much revenue they're doing on a monthly basis. Um, so this is how much they're doing on a monthly basis for the keyword as a whole. It gets about $5 million in revenue for all these products. You'll be able to see like sales graphs of like what goes up and down. There's a lot of data you can basically pull off of this to really see how much your competitors are doing. And then once you see how much their competitors are doing, you'll be able to go in here. And let's say if I wanted to say, hey, I want to copy what this competitor is ranking for. On the very top, you can actually pull the ASIN, and an ASIN looks always something like this in the title or in the URL. You can't see my URL right now, but basically it looks something like this. And this is the ASIN of this product. So you'll be able to pull that ASIN and be able to go from there. And then it's also important to make sure you're using variations whenever you can. I'm going to try to find a variation whenever possible, but basically variations are really powerful because it makes it where you have multiple products. When people go to your listing, they'll be able to buy more products that they wouldn't have normally gotten. So you see how right here, this is a variation. And the reason why variations are powerful, Amazon looks at variations. So let's say if you have these are two separate products on Amazon's back end. But if let's say each of these get $10,000 each, okay? But Amazon works off of sales velocity. So when you combine them, variations will naturally say, oh, this product doesn't have $10,000 each. It actually has $20,000 each. And you'll actually increase in the search algorithm, Amazon search algorithm, because it treats it as one product. So having variations is really powerful because it looks like your sales velocity is bigger than what it actually is. So highly recommend using variations so that way people can purchase more. Variations are tricky when it comes to content changes because variations break over time. They get more they just break all the time. There's a lot of issues that come with variations, but it's worth it for the increase in sales. So I highly recommend Amazon variations whenever you can. Cool. And I have a whole video on Amazon variations, by the way, so that will also should be in the link description. I'll probably forget, but that video will be on YouTube. And then Amazon Vine program. I personally do not believe in the Amazon Vine program. Every single supplement client I have launched with the Vine program has gotten screwed by it. These are very, very critical people doing the reviews, and I don't think they realize that all supplements taste bad. Like every single one. I don't know a single supplement that tastes good. And they're very critical, and just keep that in mind. There are other ways to get 5-star reviews that you could pay for that even though Amazon it's very black hat to do such a thing, but the Vine program, if you have a very general product, you probably use the Vine program and be okay. If you have a tech product or something like that, it's very general, for general use that anyone can use it. But if you have a very niche product, this probably isn't for you because they're going to be very critical. It's probably not. They're not going to be probably your target audience, and it probably just isn't going to make sense for them. So I don't recommend the Vine program for most people. Deals. I honestly have never used the deals section here unless you're doing lightning deals or something. You can use coupons. Difference between coupons and promotions and things like that. Coupons, you have to pay basically a cent for when people click on a coupon. This is just a price slash. This would be like a sort of a fancy coupon essentially. Let me see if I can find one. So you see how this says 10%? You get a green badge when you with coupons. You get a green badge right here. So it will increase conversion rate and click-through rate pretty high because you get if you're just scrolling through and you see this green badge, save 10%, and then you click on it. So and then every time someone clicks, you have to pay like 20 cents or something like that every time someone clicks on it. And that's how coupons work. So that I just made this person pay 20 cents because I'm evil, and now he has to pay 20 cents for that click. Someone could click on it and not even purchase, and now you would technically have to pay for that coupon. And that's how coupons work. So you get the badge and coupons. Coupons are pretty awesome. So I recommend using coupons most of the time. And then when it comes to promotions, promotions are like um, use promo code 20 off Amazon and like buy now. You can use a certain promo code and actually go through this process, and you'll actually be able to. There's a social media promo code that only lasts 30 days usually. You'll actually get a link and you can send traffic through that link, and the discount will automatically apply. You can get a percentage off, meaning that this is like a certain promo code, like they put text in that say, hey, enter in 20 off Amazon on your checkout, and you'll get 20 off percent on all the products. You can use that percentage off. Either that or you can use a buy one, get one right there. So, and it's really important that you make sure when you do this percentage off, that you don't. I don't know if it'll let you. If you create a group coupon, when you see customized messaging, you see this little check mark right here. It's very, very important to uncheck this check mark if you are sharing this to friends and family. So here's the reason why. I had a buddy that basically put like a 40% coupon off for like sometimes even 100% coupon off, and he left this check marked. And what this will do, this will actually apply it so where people can actually see it on Amazon, where it actually like will show up as a button on Amazon. Get like 100% off, get 40% off. And if you're sharing that with your friends that you don't want and you want it to be exclusive, don't check mark this box. So it's very important to make sure you have this box not check marked if you want it to be exclusive. If you don't and you're just trying to share it out with whoever, I would honestly recommend a coupon. But if you're saying, Victor, no, I don't like coupons, then you can keep this checked and just do a 20% off. Either one. It accomplishes the same thing, but in a percentage off, you don't get the badge. So that's the difference. Cool. And stores, you can get a storefront. A storefront's pretty simple. When people click on this, they'll be able to go. This person doesn't have a storefront. You see how I clicked on it and it went to like the search result page? That means they do not have a storefront. Let me go to someone that does. I don't personally. I have huge clients that have storefronts, and there's very, very little traffic that go through them. So I personally don't recommend having a storefront. Like, I would not invest in a storefront heavily. I don't personally think it's worth it because there's almost such little traffic. This is what an Amazon storefront looks like. They did a really good job updating theirs, but very, very little traffic goes through it, so I wouldn't honestly worry about it. Cool. And then growth opportunities. You'll be able to do. I don't even know what is this. Okay, yeah, you can basically like optimize. It's just like optimization stuff. You can go through that if you want. I almost never use it. Export programs, custom program. There's also gonna be a experiments. I believe that's in growth. That it doesn't look like I have access to right now. You'll actually be able to test. I think it's under experiments. You'll actually be able to test. There's this thing called experiments where you can actually test your A/B. You can A/B test your main images to see which main image works the best. You can A/B test your titles, your A+ content, and Amazon will actually A/B test this for you and see which one drives more sales. Pretty cool stuff. Highly recommend it. And then we have like if you're trying to look at your sales and reports, business reports is going to be your friend. So you're going to be able to go through all these fancy things and change just to see what your sales are. If you want to see your sales broken down by product, detail sales by child item is going to be the way to do it. The difference between parent item and child item, remember how we talked about variations and the difference between them? So you see how this has 3 different variations. These are technically 3 separate products. If you wanted to see the overall sales for all this together in one, that's called a parent ASIN. Okay, so that's going to give you all the sales of this combined total of all these 3 things combined. Okay, that's what it's going to say. That's what it means by parent ASIN right here. So if you, or by parent item, so that'll give you the total sales by parent item. If you want to get the total sales by child item, that will break it apart to get the sales for each particular one. So that's the difference between the two. And if you want to see the conversion rate of your how your product is doing, I recommend use. This is going to be the unit session percentage. I believe so. Yeah, it's the unit session percentage, and what this will tell you is your conversion rate from when people go on the page and purchase. This will be the conversion rate on your page. It depends on the category. From in the supplements, it's about a 5 to 10% conversion rate. And other clients, usually for general based products, I usually see about a 15 to 20% conversion rate. That's pretty typical on Amazon. Now, if you have a higher price point, then that will decrease. If you're sending irrelevant traffic, that will decrease. If you're sending like a lot of Amazon advertising stuff that isn't working very well, then that will also decrease your unit per session percentage. But usually people have about a 15 to 20% conversion rate on Amazon because Amazon is crazy when it comes to conversion rates. People are there to purchase. And then that's how I use this right here. And you can also use the sales and traffic as well. And then you can use fulfillment, returns report. I don't use anything else there, to be honest. Account health is really important to look at. Okay. Account health this is a very, very important thing to look at on a daily basis, or not I would say weekly basis. Like, you remember how I said the whole late shipment rate? They will ban you. They will suspend you if you don't get this right. So under 4%, definitely do not miss this. If you are under that 4% shipment rate. And then I don't even know what this one is. I've never had this as an issue. And I almost never had this one as an issue before. But late shipment rate is pretty important. I would make sure you're in compliance with all these things, and I would make sure you're kind of all good. So please make sure your account health's good on that side. And if you want to check inventory that's ever lost, there's going to be a button up here where you can say, like, manage your. First of all, it's important to like manage your inventory. Yeah, it's important to like keep track of your inventory. And really like make sure you're like restocking. You'll be able to see all your performance metrics on your inventory performance. It's really important that you're in the green on your inventory performance, like your sales velocity is good and things like that. That's going to be a pretty important process throughout all this. And you're also going to be able to see your there's going to be an option here about something like restock excess inventory, or something like that, where it's gonna for all the inventory that is lost, you're gonna be able to see that within that dashboard. I forget what the name is on top of my head, but it will be there. So just keep that in mind. That'll help you in the future to like track down missing inventory. Just so you have that in mind. This is like review stuff. And it's also really important that you respond to the customer within 24 hours. So in the top right here, there's going to be messages that are going to come in. Amazon will definitely like hurt your account if you like don't respond within 24 hours to like a lot of people. Amazon will suspend you for that too. So make sure you respond within 24 hours. I would make sure to have some type of customer service team. And that's where like voice of a customer comes into play. You'll be able to see like, are people saying they don't like the product? Are they saying they got the wrong product? This is a good thing to look at on a weekly basis to make sure there's no red flags, to make sure your overall account is healthy and things like that. And then I don't use that. I don't use B2B. This is if you're brand registered. Yeah, and I don't really use anything else, to be honest. But that's kind of an overview of everything on Amazon, the best practices, and like how to at least get the starting stages of being able to navigate and really figure out what you want and what you're trying to accomplish. So hopefully that was valuable. Hopefully you got some insights on how to like navigate Amazon, and let me know if you have any other questions. Thanks.